Hello, my name is Hadi Kardiman. This video will be recording the story of a prestigious writer from Portugis, that is Tomé Pires, with his creation of the Suma Oriental, a journey report to the Spice Islands in between fiction and reality. At the beginning of the 16th century, concerning the mythical Spice Islands and their natural riches, few things were the pure product of the European imagination. This myth of the Eastern Islands and the quest to find them can be placed on the same pedestal as the quest for El Dorado, the elusive city of gold supposedly located in South America. But the Spice Islands, unlike El Dorado, were not merely a figment of human imagination, but real, located in the Banda Sea and situated between the Indonesian islands of Sulawesi and New Guinea. Tomé Pires, the apothecary of the unfortunate Prince Afonso of Portugal, set out on an exploration mission in the name of King Manuel of Portugal. After Afonso Gilbert conquered Malacca for Portugal in 1511, he launched a voyage to report on channels of exploration and trade, while searching for the Spice Islands. By order of Manuel I, Tomé Pires had to write a report on his travels, and the book will be called Suma Oriental. Suma Oriental describes the journey of Tomé Pires, the world he knew, and compiles a wide variety of information ranging from historical and ethnographic information to commercial and botanical data. The abundance of information also has a more critical tone, specifically the information that Pires gives us about the inhabitants of the Indonesian archipelago and the traits of Maluku. In his work, Pires creates an Orientalist vision of the region, where Portugal can be seen as the center of the world and the Indonesian islands are on the periphery of Portugal. Furthermore, this Orientalism grew of the myth of the Orient, according to which Europeans had always considered every piece of information about the Orient to be potentially secret and valued as a precious commodity. The Portuguese Empire's control of the Indonesian archipelago and of the Maluku trade routes ensured Portugal's integration into the global trade network of early modernity. That is why, from a specific perspective, it can be concluded that the region was integrated into the global trading system with the help of Portugal. Although the book written by Tomé Pires is important for Asians for its information, we also need to assess its accuracy and rigor. The commercial network that Pires describes in Suma Oriental is extensive. It describes the trade ties between the different islands and entities of Southeast Asia, and Java plays a central role in this region's trade network. However, Matsuda, in Pacific Rose, A History of Seas, Peoples and Cultures, points out that the dominant merchant network in the Southeast Asia region was that of the Arabs. In most cases, that they did not deal directly with the Maluku, but bought the spices in Malacca. But in Suma Oriental, it seems that the Arabs traded directly with Maluku and the other Spice Island. But this is not the case. When the Arabs bought spices in Malacca, the spices themselves had already passed through the hands of various merchants from Java or Sumatra before reaching the Arabs. Pires is right in the fact that the Arabs were selling products originating in Maluku, but he forgets to give specific details about how these spices reached the Arabs. Lack of details particularly affects the gold trade in the region. Pires is right that there was gold in the region and it was a regular trade commodity, but he does not tell us that the gold is in very poor quality. Compared with the gold that was coming from South America, the gold from Java and Borneo was worth next to nothing. Another flaw of Suma Oriental is the location of the different spices. According to Pires, nutmeg grows on several islands of the region. However, John Villiers, in Commerce and society on the Banda Islands in the 16th century points out that nutmeg only grew on the Banda Islands in the period when Pires visited the different islands. Also, Pires points out that Pires doesn't talk much about coins. According to Pires, currencies were extremely important within the region's network, especially for the Chinese and Bengalis. Suma Oriental says that the trade network was based on exchange. For Pires, the statement is not true, mainly because the trade between the great kingdoms was predominantly done with copper coins called caisas in Portuguese. Dr. Sri Morgana, a historian at the University of Gajah Mada, claims that Tomé Pires has his own version of the Islamization of Java. For Pires, Islamization was carried out by foreigners for 70 years in Java. Pires states that Javas had a strong attitude and an exhibitionist character that made the outsiders have the same type of behavior. Morgana argues that Pires' information needs to be revised at many points, even though his work was based on valid data. This concludes that Tomé Pires' creation was only based on subjective experience that could be one of the valid data for describing the discovery of these Spice Islands. Moreover, without his writings, we may have no idea about the origin of Southeast Asia lands that is so important to the reconnection for Asian people. I am Hadi Kardiman, and that is the story of Tomé Pires and his writing of Suma Oriental. Thank you.